Oh look, a package from Gorilla Brewing. First, we have a letter from Paul Edwards, the CEO and head brewer of Gorilla. Dear Kevin, congratulations! Your passion and enthusiasm for brewing have truly inspired us at Gorilla Brewing Company. As you receive this box filled with the finest malt for your brewing adventure... Brewing adventure? Does every letter say that? Or just mine? We wanted to take a moment to applaud your dedication. Your creative potential and devotion to the art of brewing brought you here, and we can't wait to see what you create. Remember, brewing is not just about the final product, it's about the journey, the learning, and the growth. Enjoy each moment and trust your instincts. That's all I do when I brew. Education and technique, it's all instinct. Should you be successful, I eagerly look forward to making your beer right here at Gorilla Brewing, sending it to Singapore for professional evaluation, and even taking a trip with you to Vietnam to share your outstanding creation with the best breweries in Asia. Oh, Maron. Good luck on your brewing adventure. Again, brewing adventure. We look forward to tasting your creation and celebrating your hard work and innovation. Best wishes, Paul Edwards, head brewer and CEO, Gorilla Brewing Company. Let's talk about what I'm doing for this beer competition. So, Gorilla sent in that box a malt bill. Now, you have to use this malt. Now, you can add more if you want, but you must use what's in the box. So, in the box, there's 3.5 kilos of Golden Promise pale malt, a kilogram of wheat malt, and a kilogram of malted oats. Not oat flakes, but malted oats. So, I figured that's pretty pale, pretty good mix of malts. I'm going to do a very bizarre, I'm going to go all out with this. I think with that malt bill, a lot of people are going to do pale ales, IPAs, NEPAs. So I'm going to go completely the other direction and make a Norwegian farmhouse ale. Now the problem is you need to categorize your beer for this competition. And this isn't really a categorized beer. Because it's more of a traditional recipe. I've seen this online. I want to recreate it. I want to do something cool, something different for this event. So as far as malt goes, the first part is always recipe formulation, right? So I've been doing that here, my little notebook. So as far as malts go, I'm going to put some rye in it. This will be 3%. I don't want a lot of that in there, just a little bit. But it's a Scandinavian beer. So I'm going to use some rye for that hearty northern type of malt. Mix it in there. Now, what makes a Norwegian farmhouse ale? The most important part is juniper branches. Now, without going into a park and breaking some branches off a tree, which I don't want to do because that's not nice and I might get in trouble. There's 2 reasons. So I did buy some wood. This is Korean juniper tree wood. There it is. It's kind of shaved off from the trunk. It's not the branches with the little needles on it. This is as good as I'm going to get. So when the water's coming up to temp, I'm going to put 80 grams of this in there. Smells so goddamn good. Cedar is very similar in this way. The smell of cedar and of juniper wood. Oh, like a sauna. Again, going back to that Scandinavian thing, any decent sauna will be made of like a cedar. Cedar's the standard. Pine smells nice too, but that cedar of a sauna. So this will go in the water. When it comes up to temp, I'll take this out, and then I'll add the malts. With the malts, Norwegian farmhouse ales also call for half the hops going in the malting part of the beer making. So I'm going to chuck in 20. You don't want to use crazy hops for this, so I'm using Celia. They're pretty low alpha acid, low bitterness, noble hop, European style, kind of standard for beer making. This isn't going to give it like, whoa, fruity. None of that. That's not, it's a waste of money. And that's not what the recipe calls for. Saaz would work too. Kind of your standard German, bittering hops for like a nice drinkable beer. So Celia's from Slovenia, I believe. These were given to me by Nathan and Caitlin, thanks. So I'm going to use half of them in the mash, and then I'm going to pull the mash, sparge it out, and then for the hops in the hop schedule, again, very simple. I'm going to use 11 grams of Hallertau Mittelfrüh and another 28 grams of the Celia again. This will be at about half an hour. This will be about 15 minutes. And then one of the most important parts also is, this isn't really necessary, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm not drunk. I haven't drank today. I'm hot and tired. I did get juniper berries. So I'm going to put 20 grams in the hop spider 5 minutes before flame out. And then I'm going to put another 20 grams in during the cool down. So this will add another one of those like foresty northern Scandinavian farmhouse. The closest you can get to a farmhouse as far as styles go would be a Belgian Saison. But what I'm doing with this beer, if I entered it as a Belgian Saison, it wouldn't work. People would have this list of things to expect and they'd be going, what the fuck, this doesn't taste anything like a Saison. Like, procedurally it matches that a bit, but as far as what I'm doing and as far as what the historical record shows for the recipe, very different. So I would get marked down a lot because it simply wouldn't match the expectations that the judge would be looking for with that style. I am, of course, going to use Kveik yeast. That's imperative for this recipe. This is a Norwegian yeast that's, dates back a long time, and it actually ferments optimally at 35 degrees. Now, the benefit of having the fridge in there is not that it's going to cool down the beer and temp control it when I'm doing it. It's that it shoots out so much heat that that room is fucking hot. Which, again, when I brew this tomorrow and I need that yeast to be at 30, 35 degrees, that room is hot enough now. It's 30 right now. So you would never brew a beer at that temperature unless you're making a Saison, which calls for about 26 to 28, or a Norwegian farmhouse ale, which calls for even up to 42 sometimes. So hopefully that room can get a little warmer. I'm not upset with 30 though. 30 is fine for a Kveik yeast. Yeah, so that's my recipe. I covered everything? Yeah. So I formulated the recipe. That's first part, right? Tomorrow's going to be brew day, so I'll catch up with you then.